All right, Shalom. Giving our praises, our glory, our honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of the great millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 listed hopeful elect out there. This is your brother, the priest Desire One from GMS Atlanta, back with another edifying video. This will be another Motb update concerning the digital ID and the coming biometric system that will be connected worldwide. It will soon go online. And what I have here, this is from August 1st, today's date, 2025, the hopeful year of the destruction. The hopeful year of the deliverance and destruction and judgment on Esau. So the deliverance of the elect and the destruction and the judgment of Esau and the wicked. Because Lord willing, the deliverance of the elect of the Israelites, those of us hoping to be delivered, come soon. But first, these major prophecies have to come to pass, which that major prophecy that we're to see come to pass next is the mark of the beast, or what we call the Motb, which is a biometric implant, whether it be the Neuralink and other brain implants, or whether it be the RFID and other implantable microchip technology. It will soon be mandated around the world to the different citizens in the different countries all over the planet. So this here says Turkey pledges to support Gabon, which Gabon is in Africa. Turkey pledges to support Gabon's digital government connectivity efforts. Now let's look up. Now we know Turkey is a country, which is the same country here. Turkey, country spanning southeastern Europe and western Asia. So Turkey has been in the news a lot over the last few decades. So it should be well known. But you also have the country of Gabon, which let's see here, this one. Let's look this up. So you also have the country of Gabon, which is a country on the Atlantic coast of Central Africa. And you also have Israelites here as well. And also what I've noticed is a lot of these Edomite countries, European nations, are helping, well, even certain Asian countries are helping these African nations and these African countries develop their digital ID system, which a lot of them are accepting the digital currency, the digital wallet. And you also had recently the leader of he recently came back from America wearing a MAGA hat. So he's down with the system. He's down with America's plan. And he's going to introduce the Motb implant to his people as well. You know, because it's going to be a global digital system. Let me look that up. Let me look up the African leader. I forget which country. African leader wears MAGA hat. And oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay, it was this guy of Gabon. Okay. Yeah. So it says recent reports indicate that Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema, the president of Gabon, was spotted wearing a Make America Great Again hat after a meeting with former U.S. President Donald Trump. And people are people are coming against him. Because here it says, big shame, Gabon president disappointing Africans after came back with MAGA hat given by Trump. Make Africa Great. But then they use shame, but then the channel is Make Africa Great. You know? When they biting off America. It says the president of Gabon has come back with the cap of Make America Great Again. This is a shame. So, okay, hold up. Trump tariffs hit businesses in South Africa's auto industry. Yeah, Trump is going to get a lot of pushback behind all these tariffs and high percentages on these goods coming in to the country. Anyway, all right, but these countries are still down with Trump. You know, they're still down with America as of right now. But this system is being set up, so I didn't know it was Gabon. So this all ties in. So it says the ambassador of Turkey to Gabon, and well, actually it makes sense why he's wearing the MAGA hat, because these countries are going to push the Motb anyway, you know, around the world. So it says the ambassador of Turkey to Gabon, Ken Insesu, recently had a discussion with the country's minister of digital economy, digitization, and innovation, Mark Alexander Dumba, to explore ways of strengthening digital cooperation between the two nations. During the exchange, the Turkish envoy said as part of the cooperation, his country will share its expertise with Gabon in the areas of digital government, digital signatures, digital payment systems, public services, as well as the expansion of digital connectivity infrastructure to areas not properly covered. So that eventually is going to tie into the Motb and the inclusivity, or the inclusivity of the poor areas, which would tie into the mark where it says free and bond, rich and poor will be caused to receive the Motb, which we know to be the biometric digital implant, which goes under the skin. It says here, Turkey is making strides in digital transformation through various projects and programs rooted in different national strategies, which puts the country in a good position to share its expertise. I don't know who wrote this article. It also ranks high in the UN's Digital Government Development Index. So all these countries around the world are going to push this system. So Turkey is going to set up Gabon in Africa. So the Motb will be pushed out there in Africa. And this is why we be telling the Bishop Nathaniel of the IURC, you know, the focus is here in America. You know, what you're going to do here is you're trying to push the gospel, and you're going to need to take that implant to go over there. Now, so far, the IURC is teaching that the marked Motb is not the microchip implant, and they're going off. So is he going to go to Africa and teach it? I mean, because we believe that he sold out, he's a false prophet, but if he's of the elect, then he's going to eventually push it, you know? So, hey man, we're coming down to the wire, right? But they're definitely going to push the Motb out there in Africa. All right, so that's pretty much it for here. You know, they're setting it up in Africa. This is why I say, hey, if Bishop Nate is going to jet set over there, he needs to warn them over there about the coming technology, the Motb, the implant. But, they don't believe over there. So, hey, a lot of people are going to get messed up behind this message, So let's go to the next one here. back here in the States. It says New Orleans ID emerges as national test for municipal autonomy resistance to ICE. So it says in late July, New Orleans announced the Crescent City ID, a municipal identity card program specifically designed to support inclusion in vulnerable communities. There's that word inclusion again. Let's see what it says. Spearheaded by Mayor LaToya Cantrell and City Council Vice President Helena Moreno, the initiative responds directly to heightened federal immigration enforcement, offering a secure form of identification for residents who lack access to state or federal IDs, including undocumented immigrants, the homeless, small and great, rich and poor. This is another step closer to the Motb. Anything that's dealing with identity, that's another step closer to the mark of the beast being implemented, because that's the same application that the implant is going to have for the different citizens. It says undocumented immigrants, the homeless, survivors of violence, and LG plus residents seeking to reflect their identity. The card is accepted by city departments, and it includes the option to have essential information such as emergency contact details and medical conditions such as allergies and disability. Oh, and see, what did Trump just do? Trump just announced that they're going to digitize the healthcare system just Wednesday. So all that information will be on the implant. You know, see what we've been saying here at GMS is coming true. Nothing what these other guys say about the mark being sin in all its forms, or belief and all of that is false. It says the city says, noting that the Crescent City ID card will be open to all residents, including children and youth, with an expiration date of 6 years for adults and 3 years for minors. So this is just another way to get you tied into that system, and this is coming out of New Orleans. But the next big thing is the digital ID. Okay. I had a couple of articles here. So this is coming out of London. London police can use live facial recognition 10 times a week under new rules. And I spoke on this facial recognition surveillance system coming to the UK. And it's going to come here too. We speak about Palantir and how they're going to, this company Palantir has been set up to also, surveil these Americans. Okay. So yeah, I spoke on this not too long ago, how they're using the facial scans over there in the UK and London. Spike in shoplifting and knife crime gives police leeway to amp up surveillance. It says Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley says the Met is getting smaller but more capable. Part of that capability is doubling the use of live facial recognition. Buried in the release is the notice that the Met is scaling up our use of live facial recognition, LFR, more widely supported by additional officers and staff. Yeah, so they're setting the society up for that big bro, eyes everywhere, eagle eye surveillance system. Currently, LFR is used 4 times a week across 2 days, but this will increase up to 5 days a week, delivering up to 10 deployments a week across London the drive-up arrests of wanted offenders. So yeah, so they're setting up for that system. So hey, we're in that time, man. We're definitely in that time. Let's see here. Because I got to make this quick, so I'll just read these headlines. It says Somalia, check this out. Somalia makes national digital ID mandatory for banking transactions from September 1st. This is as of yesterday, July 31st, 2025. It says a new rule will soon go into effect in Somalia, mandating citizens wishing to open a new bank account or update an old one to present a national digital ID issued by the National Identification and Registration Authority. The Central Bank of Somalia issued a statement on July 29th informing citizens of this move, which it says is supported by NIRA and the Somali Bankers Association. So hey, another step closer versus a digital ID mandated. Then it's the implant. Now I don't know, because they say here in the US they want to introduce these wearables. I don't know if they're going to push the wearables outside the US. You already got countries like Sweden using the micro C-hip implant, so maybe they'll go that route. But we'll see, because this digital ID thing is a worldwide thing, worldwide thing. So let's see. So the next thing here. Okay. Unlocking financial inclusion with digital ID and payments in Pakistan. So we're in the A. You know what? Let me do this. Let me get the scripture. Okay, here we go. Because what we're seeing are these different citizens that may not have bank accounts, may not have access to their records, whether they're homeless, poor. They're with this digital ID around the world. This gives them access to certain amenities, benefits that the government services will provide. Right? So this is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So everybody, whether you're rich, poor, you got money, you don't, you're homeless, you're free, you're in prison, everyone is going to be eventually offered the implant, which is the mark. But now they're using the convenience of digital IDs and the incentives of government services and other government agencies, helping the people out. That's going to get more and more people to register. But at this point, they're making it mandatory. So that means the elite are moving quick, man. Moving real quick. It says globally, around 850 million people lack legal identity, restraining their capacity to receive basic services and fully participate in the economy. It all goes back to whether or not they can tax you, whether you're buying and selling, moving the economy along. Almost twice the population of Europe, this is a harsh reality. Women are extremely affected in low-income countries, particularly in South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa, with 44% without ID compared to 28% for men. Many people have an inconsequential digital literacy rate and limited internet connectivity. There is hope that enabling women to access robust digital identities in these locations can support bridging this identity gap. Digital ID access, ownership, Digital ID access ownership is the starting point for gaining true financial inclusion. Digital payment methods and remittances in countries where such transfers account for up to 20% of GDP. Strengthening inclusive digital ID systems is important to increasing financial inclusion and adopting sustainable economic development. So Pakistan, South Asia, digital payments and IDs key to financial inclusion. Insights from Development Asia reports that over 1 billion people in developing Asia are unbanked, and only 21% of adults in Pakistan have bank accounts and mobile payment accounts. So so this is small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, having access to this digital system that eventually the implant will provide that access to. So GMS is right, man. GMS is right. So, when these leaders see that this implant is out and they start to really push this digital ID system and they mandate these implants, they're either going to tell you not to take it, which that's going to be us here at GMS. We're already warning you. But if these other Israelite groups such as IGBK, IUIC, if they say, oh, you can take it, man, don't worry about it. It's just like when we told you that, which, they did. They said that it was okay to take the jump shot back with the C-19 crisis. And I found that video. I put that up. It was a Tuesday, shout out Tuesday. Bishop Nathaniel says, all right to take it. So I saw that, I heard that. I heard up and did a video, and then it pretty much took off from there. Other brothers, elders, did videos on it. So I was able to catch that. I know I did. I didn't see anyone, so they said that it was okay. Bishop Nathaniel said it was okay. Then another brother saw same thing with the IGBK. So we was catching these leaders speak on it was okay to take the jump shot, and that was wrong. So now if you see that they're going to say it's okay, if they say it's okay to take the implant, then we know that they sold out, and they're definitely false prophets, man, because they're going to lead you Israelites into destruction. So now let's see here. Now this one here, this last one, NZ, New Zealand, launches digital credential issuance platform tender. So here it says New Zealand. You look like a Jake. You probably is a Jake. You got a lot of our people scattered. You got the hat, the beard. A lot of those people over there are Jaffet. You got the Maori people of the Pacific Islands. Our people are mingled amongst the people of Jaffet over there in New Zealand and in Samoa, Hawaii, and so forth. Hawaii. So it says here, New Zealand, right, has officially launched a request for proposal to identify suppliers for a digital credential issuance platform that will be used by the NZ, New Zealand government digital wallet, following advance notice issued last week. So they're setting it up. Once they set up in all these countries, once they set up this digital ID infrastructure, digital public infrastructure, then the next move is to push the microchip implant. It says the issuance platform will be managed by the Department of Internal Affairs and used by government agencies to issue digital IDs and other credentials stored within the wallet. And remember what the scripture says, buying and selling, right? No one will be able to buy and sell unless they have the mark. The wallet itself is part of the NZ government mobile app designed to bring together government services and credentials such as the New Zealand Transport Agency's planned mobile driver's license. Oh, they're doing the same thing here in the U.S. Mobile driver's licenses. The app is expected to go live before the end of 2025. So this is why we say that, we believe this is months. It could be within the next year they push the Motb, man. Because a lot of these pilot programs and government agencies are getting ready to push these systems around the world, go live. And like I mentioned over here with Somalia, they're making digital ID mandatory. Okay? So let's go back to the scriptures, and I'm about to close here. Revelation 13 and 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So if you want a bank in Somalia and the digital wallet over there in New Zealand and these other countries, eventually you're going to have the charagma, the mark, implanted under the skin. So it's coming down to the wire, man. You got Revelation 3 and 10, the hour of temptation is coming, which shall come upon the whole world. That's why we're seeing these digital ID systems at the same time, mind you, all being set up around the world for a reason, because that's the precursor to the Motb being pushed, mandated and pushed. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. All praises goes to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All praises goes to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, B'Shem Kakadash. Shalom.